What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Hades this time. His name is Wizzy. His opponent today, contrary to what his name would tell you, he is playing Atlantean. He's playing Kronos, and his name is NoAtlantis. Maybe there's some sort of extra meaning going on behind everything, but we'll see how things are going to go here. Kronos versus Hades on the map Alfheim. An interesting matchup. I'm surprised to see a Hades pick here. I don't think that Hades is necessarily the best on this map against Atlantean. The reason why is that because of the low hunt, life can be really, really hard early game here for Hades. If there's enough hunt, you can do some one town center ideas. But if there's not, even just the second town center, it's going to be tough. You have to kind of get a second town center that's got access to a gold mine. So the back town center here is really, really bad. And the forward town center here, while there's gold mines around it, it's just too far forward. So life might be a little bit challenging here. So we'll have to wait and see what Wizzy's actual plan is here. He's clearly got a plan coming into this game to try and easily dispose of NoAtlantis' Atlantean here. But I think this is going to be a tough one. Kronos has got all the early game pressure, and while Sentinels does shut down any pressure inside of the main base, things can still be a little bit difficult come mid-game, so long as the Atlantean player has got to focus on gold staves. Anyways, we'll see how things are going to go. NoAtlantis here is going to be throwing down a mana, throwing down a temple. It looks like, well, obviously it doesn't look like he is not going for hunting dogs in this early stages of the game. So the question is going to be, is he going for a Kronos rush here, or which is a 3:30 advance time? It doesn't really look like it. Or is he going to be going for a 4-minute advance time, a 3:55? And that's kind of... Oh, wait, he's missing 5 wood. He is going for a Kronos rush. He's missing 5 wood, though. Kronos rush it is. Going all in. This makes a lot of sense. Now, why? Let's ask some questions here. Why would you go for a Kronos rush over a 4-minute advance time? What is the advantage that you're going to be attempting to find with going up with 5 citizens rather than 6 citizens, or even 6 citizens versus 7 citizens? Now, generally speaking, if your opponent has got starting hunt, these early advances, they don't tend to be that useful because your opponent can also advance fast. So you're kind of playing around the fact that maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if they've got secondary hunt here, as you can see, Wiz is on the second hunt, but he's had to move out to it. He didn't know it was there straight away. You can see that Wiz is actually struggling here to get a decent advance time. He's actually even had some idle time on his villages. The temple is coming down a little bit late here. It should have been up by 3:30, and he should have been able to advance. But things are a little bit difficult for him. So NoAtlantis is going to be able to put so much early pressure onto Wiz here, and Wiz is all the way out on this location right now, as we see the oracles coming through. Villagers already starting to shank away here as the raid is coming in. Villagers going to be going down here. 1 villager down, 2 villagers potentially going to be going down as the everyone wants to get in on this action, as the Promethean now coming through, and Wiz pulling back into the main base, trying to get a little bit of path blocking there with the time shift shenanigans, but there's not really going to be all too much more for him to do here, as Wiz can now simply just move back into the main base. He still hasn't managed to click up. He's going to be getting himself out at Ajax as well. This is going to be a really, really late advance time, ladies and gentlemen, as the Promethean going to be coming through. We'll be finding the temple, but I don't know how to tell you this, NoAtlantis. The counter... The counter to deconstruction on your temple is just don't advance to the classical age, apparently. As we see the temple coming back up, apparently 3 villagers on the temple is going to be necessary. It's not. If you haven't started advancing, 1 villager on a temple will take around about 40 seconds to build. So you're going to get it back up with just the 1 villager, but Wiz wants it back up quite fast. Not sure exactly why. Villagers coming over to the wood line now, and NoAtlantis has found himself quite a significant advantage coming forward here. But the question is going to be, what next? Because right now, it looks like NoAtlantis has now just finally started training extra villagers, it seems. No, he's got one extra villager, though, thus far, so he hasn't quite murdered his own economy. So while he's picked off 2 villagers, he's also shorted himself villagers in this early game. So not really a big deal in the slightest for Wiz. And kind of NoAtlantis, I would say, has gotten enough value out of this early game to have basically paid it off and gotten to an equal position. So I wouldn't say anyone is behind or in front at this point. So we'll see how things are going to go. As villagers coming out for NoAtlantis, we've got 3 Promethean on the way here. Got the Terma coming through here as well. And NoAtlantis, he's just going to be scouting around. I think it's well worth it for Atlantean, or not Atlantean, for Kronos to delete 1 Promethean and do this kind of scouting thing, because you can see the scouting that's currently going on. If you just get 1 Promethean offspring and you just kind of right-click it around the map and just clean up all these black spots to know exactly what's around the map, you can, I think it's pretty worthwhile use of population at this stage of the game. As we see, a stable is now up for Wizzy. Barracks might come down as well as the watchtowers. Wizzy at 28 population to NoAtlantis' 48 population. So we do have the Golden Lions here as well. So that's a big advantage there for NoAtlantis. One thing you can kind of think about is that without Golden Lions here, NoAtlantis' score would be basically equal to Wizzy's. As Wizzy kind of getting out of position just a little bit here. Got to be a little bit careful now. You do have to remember Chiron is an absolute beast of a unit. With any sort of micro, he's very, very difficult to deal with. Wizzy's kind of not actually microing the Chiron, though, as he gets down to nearly dead HP. Same too for the Minotaur here, as a restoration going to be coming through to try and get these units back up to full HP. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so. The Chiron got back up to full HP. Minotaur didn't quite get enough time on that max speed restoration there. Guess maybe that was a little bit of a waste, but Wizzy going to be pulling back into his main base. He's only got a handful of cows remaining here in the main base, but with the watchtowers here to help out, NoAtlantis is going to have to retreat back ever so slightly here. As now Hippocon going to be coming in, sniping down those Terma units on the back. And NoAtlantis now, he needs to start getting himself out some Catapulti here to deal with those Hippocon. He doesn't have any answer to the Hippocon. And also, Terma and Catapultis, they don't really do any damage to the heroes either. So you don't have an answer to the heroes, you don't have an answer to the Hippocon. So Wizzy's army is incredibly strong right now. As the Terma tries to make a break for it away from those Hippocon, but Kronos Hero Terma, unlike the Uranos Hero Terma, they're not fast enough to escape the Hippocon. The Hippocon just chased them down. As now we're finally seeing some Catapultis coming out, but is it too little too late? Wizzy has stabilized here, and he might even decide to want to just move back out onto this hunt. How much is left here is the big question. It's really not that much. He's kind of got less than 50 food in most of these deers. So he's probably not going to make the effort to come back out, as Wizzy once again turns around, takes down the Promethean offspring. You might need to just pull back, take down the matter. We'll see how things are going to go. Now, while the Atlantean army doesn't have a counter for the heroes here with what he's got currently, the Hades army doesn't actually have a counter for the Catapultis. So that's something to be fairly worried about as well for both players, really. So we'll see how they're going to adapt to this. We might start seeing archery ranges coming down here for Wizzy, which is exactly what he's going to be going for, as the Chiron does end up dropping. Those Hippocon going for it. You got to be careful. Hippocon get absolutely murdered by those Catapultis. There's so much damage onto them. Wizzy going to be retreating away, and it looks like NoAtlantis has held on for the time being here. Or at least held on to map control for the time being. There is also deer over here, which NoAtlantis hasn't scouted, or he has scouted it, so I'm surprised to see he's not gone over there. He's on the cows in the main base, doesn't have a economic guild, doesn't have any upgrades here, so he's really, really hurting his economy to keep this pressure going. Trying to push off of the chickens here, as Wizzy's going to have to start thinking about farms at this point. Farms at this point in the game is a very, very difficult position to be in. He's got himself 3 of them currently up, but obviously he can just pull into his base and not worry too much. He's got plenty of gold left in the main base, as long as he doesn't trade too many units away here. He should be fine, but nice micro there from NoAtlantis, able to take out a Toxote or 2 there with his Terma. But while this is all going on, we are seeing that the Watchtower is still getting a lot of damage done. A couple of villagers getting sniped down here as well. As Wiz going to be pulling back. He doesn't have his plow in just yet. He's not getting it, but I'm sure it's going to be on the way here as Chiron does get queued up. Villagers going to be moving back over. Just pop a whole bunch of villagers over onto the wood and just get that wood income coming through. Stop production of the Hippocon for a little bit. Make sure you're continuing to afford villagers, and then you can throw those farms down all in one swift movement, basically, is another way to go about it in terms of like a kind of difficult position to be in, as Wizzy tries to get a raid going, but a huge amount of damage comes through onto those Hippocon. 3 remaining. There was 5 there. Picked off 2 of them. And now NoAtlantis is going to be in that position where he's going to start getting raided. This citizen over here on this gold mine going to be a little bit careful. He does have enough, well, he does need another house, as these citizens do get their house up over there, maybe wanting to do a bit of a shift over there. So one citizen gets spotted, but NoAtlantis pulls it back. No problem here. As Wizzy's farms are starting to come up. Lots of wood in the bank here to get these farms up. He's got a nice granary over here underneath Watchtower and Sentinel guard there, so we can put farms around there without too much stress of losing those units. As NoAtlantis is continuing here to snipe those Toxotes off really, really nicely. One citizen almost gets sniped down, but not quite able to do so, as the catapulties come back and say, "Get out of here, Wiz. It's my town." And NoAtlantis is going to take the opportunity there to retreat back and chock down a farm. As another matter coming up, there's got to be a point in a Kronos' game plan where you say, I've got to get myself my economic guild down. You have to get an economic guild down at some point here. So normally at the 11-minute mark, I would say town center is probably normally at like the 4-minute mark, I would say town center over economic upgrades makes a lot of sense. But at the 12-minute mark, after you've gotten out X amount of gatherers, if you were to spend like 100 or 170 resources on hand axe, for example, and you have 6 villages on hand axe, that ends up being probably worth it more than actually getting the town center. We haven't actually seen NoAtlantis just committing to those tier 1 economic upgrades here just yet. As the Hippocon coming back in, searching around, we do see the citizen turning around and saying, "Get out of here." Counter barracks coming through here. Wizzy, at this point, plenty of food villages here as well. More farms coming up. He's even got a granary there to be utilizing for efficient food gather rate. He's got himself his plow. He's got himself his husbandry, so his food income should be pretty good. Might be time to start thinking about a pickaxe here as well, as the military barracks is going to be coming through. See the house coming up onto this location here as well. As the Hippocon going to move over here and see if they can spot that town center going up. See if Wizzy wants to make any sort of a movement out here. Where he's checking out the elk at this point, it seems like. So kind of missing the town center, as it will barely be getting up here, as it does see it pop up and immediately going to have to retreat back. Doesn't quite lose. Hippocon almost does. 6 HP remaining there, or 1 HP remaining, excuse me. Barely alive. Not going to be that much use just yet. There's NoAtlantis here. Plenty of gold in the bank. Just needs to get some food income going, and he can maybe make it to the next age to continue the next stage of this game. As the raids coming in onto this gold mine over here, we're starting to see time shifts all around the map. Another way forward here for NoAtlantis would be to just commit to a gold starve. So if he knows where all the gold mines are, now he hasn't really scouted the map perfectly, but he could start time shifting watchtowers in onto this gold mine over here, onto this middle gold mine over here, and start matching up against this Hades army. As you do see the Hippocon pushing through here, going to be able to take down those Terma very, very fast, but so too will the Terma of NoAtlantis be able to take down those Toxotes really fast, but doesn't seem to be happening in this game at a favorable rate for NoAtlantis, as Wizzy's army just maybe a little bit too strong here with those Hades Shades, with those Hippocon taking out all the Term, and the Toxotes mostly still alive. NoAtlantis at 82 population, Wizzy at 94 population. The gold mine expired now in the main base, as Wizzy's going to be moving forward onto this gold mine over here. A very, very tense moment here for Wizzy, as he manages to deal with that army nicely. NoAtlantis here at 82 population. Raids still continuing to come around this this map here, as NoAtlantis here, he needs to continue to put the pressure on. He needs to prevent gold from being grabbed here in this game. As Wizzy comes onto this gold mine, he is just barely out of line of sight here. You can see the gold going down here, but you have to click on that one. And now we see this temple now starting to go down, and Atlantis got a mountain to climb here, dealing with a Hades army and the gold not being starved here. He does have 2 town centers, so he's got a lot of opportunity moving forward in this game, as we do see the attack coming back over here for NoAtlantis, still continuing to want to put some pressure on. It wouldn't be a bad idea for Wizzy to actually throw down some military academies here, maybe move a little bit away from mass Hippocon and get some hoplites here to just kind of tank the infantry units just a little bit more. But I guess that's what the Hades Shades do in a way, so you kind of don't need to do that the slightest here with Hades. Now, Wizzy's actually got 2 options right now. You could think about a town center, or you could just think about shooting towards the Mythic Age. Because he's already got the farm set up, he's going to be fine to have food in the Heroic Age to allow him to get to the Mythic Age here, which would be absolutely huge moving forward, in all honesty. Especially if you get Curse coming through as well, for Wizzy to hold any sort of follow-up pushes here from NoAtlantis. See how things are going to go, as NoAtlantis is already back up to full population. He does have himself the plow through at this point. No more economic upgrades for NoAtlantis. Still trying to push through here. Wizzy just playing nice and solid, nice and safe. The army still looking very, very strong here for Wizzy. Even though you've got 130 population Atlantean army, there's no upgrades here for those infantry units. And NoAtlantis has to retreat back. Every time you make an attack and retreat, you have to take those losses on retreating. And it can be so brutal. Obviously, it's better to retreat from a losing fight than take the losing fight completely most of the time, because you can, instead of you leave with most of the units. But so brutal, and now Wizzy just realizes, yeah, he's got all the advantages moving forward. Does he have an armory up? He's got an armory. He's getting himself Pierce army. He's going to be able to advance to the Heroic Age here if he so chooses. He's got the resources to do so, as he's pushing in a couple of units here. Probably want to be attacking military units rather than a counter barracks, but there he goes, managing to fix that one up, as the army of NoAtlantis just absolutely dwindles here. I mean, at this point, you kind of need to just get some more military buildings down for both players here. You've both got a decent economy. You can actually see that NoAtlantis has got 11 villages on wood here, which is a huge amount. And he needs them on gold, and he needs more military buildings to continue the production. But he's just not able to hold it. The citizen retreating into this manor over here, making their way back to the home base. So we see one counter barracks getting taken down here. The military barracks going to be going down as well on this position. Farms over here. He's got so much wood in the bank that he just needs to put in onto food and onto gold. He could literally just take every single villager off of wood at this point, and that would be a good move. Wizzy at this point, he's going up through Aphrodite. He's making all the right choices, coming over here, putting a raid onto this gold mine here as well. There's a lot of gold mines you have to kind of secure on Alfheim to actually get a gold star. It's back gold mine over here, gold mine, gold mine, gold mine, gold mines everywhere on the map. So it can be very, very tough to actually get that gold star going and actually end a game here. As NoAtlantis is slowly but surely coming back up to that full population. Why are you put them onto the farms? Put them onto the farms. There's a gold mine back here. Put them. Stop gathering wood, NoAtlantis. Oh dear. Oh dear. As the mana looks like it's going down, but Wizzy here, he's He's going to have so many resources come Heroic Age. He is getting himself a town center, which is completely fine and reasonable in this position. But if he just clicked up to the Mythic Age here instead of this town center, he's probably going to do that as well. But he'll easily be able to drop an Earthquake down over here and then start Chimera raiding, and everything will be very, very scary here for NoAtlantis. Look at those Hades Shades, which have no counter as well. Such a difficult unit to deal with at this stage in the game. As the Citizen getting taken down over here. Curse gets dropped down. A couple of Citizen kills there. Gold Mine gets pushed off of NoAtlantis now. Well, he's getting gold in the middle of the map, but life's still very hard for him. He's lost the mana. He needs to rebuild that mana somewhere. He's in full disarray at this point. Dropping another military barracks down. Another military barracks going down over here as well. As those Citizen do end up falling, we see the units coming up onto this position here as a Nemean Lion getting involved with trying to pick stuff up. The town center goes up here for Wizzy here as a market getting thrown down over here, most likely looking to hit that Mythic Age as soon as he possibly can here, ladies and gentlemen. As the NoAtlantis army retreating back over here, the villagers to be coming onto this gold mine here. That damage the Nemean Lion does onto all those units, you might think it's not that much. If you take a look at, like, say, this one Murmillo and realize it just took 15 damage. Every single one of those units in that army took 15 damage or even 10 damage. It's absolutely huge. Is that exactly what it is? The AoE damage is 30 hack damage. 30 hack damage over in that raw onto every single one of those units. So huge. So this unit is so busted, or can be so busted if you use it right. As the Citizen retreating off of the gold mine here. NoAtlantis is over here on this gold mine and this one, but he's just not finding his way anywhere in this game. Thank you for the prime there, Crispy. Crispy45, appreciate you, my friend. More Citizens falling here in this game as Wizzy here up through Artemis, almost 50% of the way through there. 45 seconds left in this game until we see absolute devastation on the base of NoAtlantis. And Wizzy can also start thinking about a third town center here as well, if he so chooses, as we see some more military buildings coming down for NoAtlantis. NoAtlantis making a valiant defense here, just trying to continue mining gold and continuing in this game. Still getting his Citizens out, still trying to do the right things here to keep himself alive. But the end is coming here for NoAtlantis, and I'm not sure exactly what else he could do to survive. If he feels that that Artemis is coming, one thing he could do is get Masons, drop some military buildings around his town center, like this one over here. He could potentially keep his town center alive. We'll have to wait and see how it's all going to go. As there's the Artemis coming through, and NoAtlantis doesn't even want to see the destruction. He knows what the destruction that earthquake brings to him. He doesn't want to see it. He taps out, saves face. Wizzy takes the dub 2-0 in this series. A bit of there was tense moments here for Wizzy at multiple times in this series, but he managed to hold his composure and stay alive through all the craziness that was coming his way. NoAtlantis, a valiant effort, almost managing to take a win here in this series in both games, but did not manage to convert in the end. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.